Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's Mike here at Gamefromscratch, and today we're going to be looking at Rapier physics for the Godot game engine. This actually has a very cool superpower, which is also fluid simulations, but we're going to go ahead and check it out in action. So right now, we are in the Godot demo project for physics tests. I can show you where to get this later on, but you can see it's very straightforward. This is 2D physics in Godot. And this is using the built-in standard physics layer and so on. So now what I'm going to do is show you how you can start with Rapier. So Rapier is available in 4 different forms. You go here to the asset library and you search for Rapier, like so. And what you'll find is there are these 4 options. By the way, they are all open source, MIT licensed. And what you're going to notice is there is a 3D and a 2D version. The 3D version, and honestly, in the world now where we have jolt physics, etc., I don't see a lot of point for it, especially because it is a much less developed solution. But 2D is definitely worth considering check out because it basically performs better than the built-in physics. So if you're finding some issues with Godot's built-in 2D physics, you may appreciate what Rapier brings to the table. On top of that, you also have the fluid stuff, which I will show you later on. So you got these 2 options. This is the slower cross-platform version, and this one is the speedy version, which we're going to go ahead and try today. If you're making this for mobile or something, it may not work for you. That's what the major difference you're going to find there is, and this is a GD extension. So basically, it installs, it is now available. So what you do is come on up here to the physics, go to the physics category, go to 2D, and you're going to notice under physics engines, well, this is a drop-in replacement. So now instead of using Godot physics, which is the default, I can switch that over to Rapier physics. This will require a restart, however. So boom, let's go ahead and do that restart. And now what you're going to see, go back to 2D, this is now being simulated and run by Rapier instead of the Godot physics. And like I said, it's a literal drop-in replacement. So I come in here, I'll pick the same stack, and then pyramids, and then boom. And then there are some advantages to it over the built-in, at least according to the Rapier team. And we'll get that when we go check out the website in just a sec. But it gives you an idea of what this is capable of, and that basically should be one-to-one functionality. So everything that Godot does, Rapier does, and according to them, it does it better. So here you see joints and so on. So if I move that guy around, it is jointed to the other fellow, and so on. So it, again, is a straight drop-in 2D physics replacement, which is very cool. But I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to showcase some of the cool fluid side of things. So I'm going to go ahead, and I'm going to bring this image in, because we're just going to use it later on for part of our example. It's just GFS letters, from randomly chosen letters. All I'm going to do is create a 2D scene here. Now, let's get some fluids going. Here, actually, let me just full screen, toggle full screen. All right, there we go. So what I'm gonna do, come up here, and you're gonna notice if I search for fluid, we have a fluid 2D. Go ahead, drop that into my world. We'll turn debug draw on, and you're gonna notice nothing yet. So you're gonna notice if you come into the add-ons, under Godot Rapier 2D, you've got a number of scripts that you can work with. This will set up fluid in a 2D circle. I go ahead, just drop this into my fluid sim over here, and now it is available there. Now, one of those things that I find really kind of weird with this is it only updates on update. So it doesn't draw until you do that update, which is a little bit annoying. But there we go. So there is our fluid in the world. Let's go ahead and let's just move that over a little bit. And let's play this scene. Sure. So boom, there is fluid dropping in the world. Not the most exciting thing you've ever seen, but it gives you an idea of what the capabilities are. Of course, this is a physics engine, and these are fluids. So let's go one step further. I'm going to go ahead and actually create something for our physics to interact. Oops, come on. Let's move you up a little bit. And now GFS comes into effect. So I'm going to take my image into the world like so. And then now with that selected, I'm going to go ahead and create a collision polygon for it, like so. So create a collision polygon. So we got our multiple polygons set up right there. And then let's come up here, a static body 2D. We'll grab all of the above and make that part of our static body. So there, we now have something for our physics to hit. And now with this all selected, I'm actually going to just go ahead and let's go ahead and rotate that slightly. Oh, did I? Okay, 1 second. All right, moved it back to the origin. Now let's go ahead and move that whole thing down like so. And then let's rotate it like so. All right, and now let's go check out what our physics has to do. So here you can see the liquids, they come down and they bounce around our surface. Now, they're actually not going into the nooks and crannies necessarily like you want to see, and that we can get to. All right, so we got a couple different settings we can do for this. First off, what you may notice is it doesn't look very water-like. Well, that can be controlled with a pretty simple system. So we're going to go ahead and add in a multi-mesh instance 2D to our scene. And now we're going to use yet another script that's included in here, which is the fluid 2D renderer. By the way, there's also a shader renderer if you want to render the liquids that way, but we'll just go ahead and do it this way. So there is our object with the fluid renderer on it. Let's just go ahead and make this kind of bluish. There we go. So there is our bluish fluid now. And now let's go ahead and check what that looks like. Nothing. Okay, I did something wrong. Oh, dumbass. All right, so I got to go ahead and assign my fluid here. All right, there we go. So when a fluid is assigned to our fluid renderer, go ahead and see it in the world, and now you're going to see a bit more of a watery effect going on. And at this point in time, you can go ahead and turn the debug draw off and no longer have the squares being rendered when you do it. Now, the cool thing here is you've also got a lot of control over these fluids. So you're going to notice here in the fluid over here, so we've got 315 points of being created, by the way. So if you're interested, you could change those out. But at the same time, you can come in here, and this is where some of the real magic is. Because what I can do is I could come in here, and I can add effects. And what are those effects? Well, and I don't know why this list is not alphabeticalized, because that would make life so much easier. But what you will find is there are fluids. So here, fluid effects. So we could do things like add viscosity, elasticity, surface tension, and so on. So let's go ahead and we'll play with the elasticity. I'm not 100% certain what elasticity is actually going to do. So let's go turn that down, and we'll turn Poisson ratio to, I don't know, there. Again, I'm not 100%. There is good documentation, by the way, but there you can see we now have more viscous fluid. I believe that was what we went with. No, that's elasticity. So we could go ahead and add another fluid effect in here. So this time, let's go down here and find viscosity. Again, two different options. We'll go with viscosity artificial, and you can change the settings for it here. So various different options for the viscosity, and then boom, down you go. Oops, I ran the wrong thing. Go here, boom, down you go. There is a different run of fluid. You see some of it's getting through, some of it's dripping in, and so on. So you got control all over kind of fluid systems, interact with physics in the world. Very cool stuff on the whole. Very straightforward. You can also change the density of the fluid. So let's just make it a lot less dense. And you can change the lifetime of it as well. Arrgh. So here, go ahead and run it. So now it's a lot less dense. Now you can see it's getting into and everything. So you want to kind of get that smooth point where it's kind of more accurate to what you want. And there you see it's kind of running through. So probably want to go a little bit down from that. Let's go here. And none of them are working ideal. Oh, yeah, that one's working a little bit better. I probably could refine my collision meshes a little bit too as well. But you get an idea of the fluid side of things in here, which is, again, kind of a unique feature of Rapier. So if you're interested, Rapier is actually, and this is going to get a little weird for a second, Rapier is an implementation of another library into Godot. So you can see here the kind of features of it. So it's fast and stable. It's a drop-in replacement, so it's one-for-one compatible with Godot physics. Everything is supportive of rigid bodies, areas, shapes, joins to character controllers, works both in 2D and 3D, although again 3D is less developed than the 2D is in this case. Again, you can do fluid simulations. It's serializable, so using Rust CERD, this plugin is able to save and load the whole state in binary or JSON form. It is cross-platform to all these various different platforms here, and it is free and open source. So you may notice the words Rust a couple of times. Well, that is because Rapier is actually a Rust-based physics engine. So that's behind the scenes. You should get decent performance from this as well. I haven't done tests to compare one-to-one what it is like compared to the Godot performance. But again, the big thing that they're calling for is like the stability of it. So parallelism to get the best performance while offering better stability in simulations than what you get with Godot physics. So that is probably the biggest selling point on top of the fluid simulations that are in there as well, which I kind of showed off. On top of that, we also do have good documentation there. So if you want to learn how to set up and work with fluids, it's all available here. You can work with them in 3D as well. And like I said, you can also have that use instead of using the 2D renderer that I used earlier on, you could also set it up to use a shader renderer to get kind of more of that water effect, custom water effect that you want to work with. And I also believe it actually comes with a material that you can use as your default shader. But here you got a number of things here on how things are set up, how determinism works, how the various different bodies work, how everything is configured. So it does have very good documentation, which is quite nice. And this is an open source project. It is under the MIT license. It is available up on GitHub. It is actively developed. You can see this case. This was fixed or updated 4 hours ago. Pretty good following behind it. If you like what they're doing, come on here and drop them a star. They do have a Discord server as well. This is done by Apps in a Cup, who I believe were the people behind the React Native for Godot thing I covered a little while ago. Very cool project. A number of releases, very consistent releases there as well. So if you are looking for a physics alternative for the Godot game engine, this one is I highly recommend going to check it out. Again, it gets rid of some of the, so you see some of the differences, the lack of vibrations between the two. And again, it can do a number of different things, including IK or inverse kinematics, etc. So that is it. Again, this is a key part here. 2D part is pretty stable. There are some issues. The 3D part is still missing some things. So again, the 2D is the more solid choice at this point in time, especially now, again, that we do have Jolt physics as an option, another drop-in replacement that is probably stronger on the 3D side of things. So I would focus mostly on the 2D side of things when it comes to Rapier physics. So if you're looking for an alternative for physics in Godot, do check out Rapier. Very easy to get up and running. Literally just grab it from the asset library, pick the right version, and you are off to the races. By the way, if you want to go ahead and test it out, I used the Godot demo projects. So simple way. Again, literally a drop-in replacement, so you can run all of these tests in whichever version you want. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. Rapier physics for Godot. Let me know what you think. Comments down below. I will talk to you all later. Goodbye.